Hey, what's up guys? We got a news roundup today for Arika's still to be named, still to be released fighting game, as well as some quick thoughts on the future of esports for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So, interesting topic. Let's start off with Arika first. There's a teaser trailer posted very recently for their next new character, Snider. So if you don't know who that is, he is basically the closest thing this game has to Ryu, I guess. I don't know. He's got his traditional fireball called Soul Force, and he's got an uppercut called Rising Dragon, really original, and he is based off of the young Chuck Norris. Unfortunately, there was no actual gameplay shown in the teaser, just the character himself. So you're gonna have to search up some like old footage, maybe his trials, which I did myself from Arika EX or some other games like Fighting Lair. Hopefully he has the same like voiceovers he had before, because they're really funny. Triple break and stuff like that. But yeah, Snider, it's a good addition to the game. This brings the total roster size now up to 6 fighters total. Also with the recent reveal of Skullomania and Darun during Evil, if you guys haven't forgotten. There was actually a lot of gameplay shown recently during Beast TV on the stream, and some quick questions that were answered by Arika. So, for one, if you guys remember, there's going to be a beta test for this game. It was shown off in the trailer at the end. They said they're right now they're in talks with Sony, and plan to launch the beta sometime in December. So that's not too far ahead. This will actually not require a pre-order bonus. This has been confirmed, which is nice. But the beta is not confirmed whether it's going to be an open beta or a closed beta. It all depends on how many people they can allow in their servers or whatnot. I would imagine this will eventually be a closed beta though, so maybe the pre-order is a good incentive. Unfortunately, it still looks like this will be a PS4 exclusive game right now. It's not like they have any ties or anything, it's just that it's only going to be available for the PS4. Arika said they don't have the resources to release the game for Steam, aka PC, or even Japanese arcades for that matter. I guess the sales of the PS4 game will determine this game's future on different platforms. Arika was also asked why they didn't go ahead and make a Kickstarter for their new fighting game, and it seemed that Arika was just not confident in making a Kickstarter, and they didn't think it would actually succeed, which I'm personally disappointed by this. I feel that there's been some really strong reception for this game, and I know everyone wants this to release on as many gaming platforms as possible, especially Steam. So I think they would get great support if they started a Kickstarter, honestly, but you know, it's their game. Arika is planning to have this game launch with about 10 characters, which seems dangerously low. It seems really creepy low. But depending on the sales, Arika will eventually plan to release every single character from their previous Fighting Lair series / EX eventually. So there is still a ton of characters to add to the game. It's just a matter of funds and resources. Alright, next topic now is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. As most of you guys know, there was an accidental public release of an esports proposal, basically showing a game plan structure for competitive MVCI. A lot of you guys are asking my opinion of it, basically give my 2 cents. Basically, in a nutshell, they want MVCI to have a very strong esports following, just like Street Fighter V. You know, who doesn't for fighting games? This will be, you know, Capcom's 2 main titles that they're going to have for esports. So I'm sure nobody's surprised by this, like what other game was it going to be for Capcom? Marvel vs. Capcom has always been the top, you know, one of the top competitive fighting games since Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There's definitely an opportunity to make this, you know, a large esports game. But what I didn't expect is such an aggressive push for esports right away. I thought that, you know, Capcom's going to wait and see the sales of the game and then see how the competitors, seeing the reception of it, and then push it to esports. But it seems like they want this thing to go hard on esports right away, which kind of contradicts on how this game is, you know, how it's being made from the ground up. So now keep in mind, guys, that this whole proposal video thing is just that. It's a proposal, so nothing is in stone right now. But I have to mention that MVCI is definitely a different beast than Street Fighter V. So first off, Street Fighter V was built from the ground up with esports in mind. There's no doubt about it. The Capcom Fighters Network, for one, that entire structure, the training mode options, the replay system, everything was esports orientated. The balancing of Street Fighter V in terms of the mechanics, the gaps between the balance patches that they're releasing for the game, all very safely made and all have a strong impact on the esports scene, because if you had really bad balancing or too many balance patches, the tournament scene would just crumble, right? And we want to keep everything really stable, especially for the pro players themselves, right? Not having to worry about their character being super nerfed midway through the season or having to switch characters and such. Street Fighter V also had a few beta tests to make sure the online netcode was, good. And, if the servers would hold up. You could say, that the betas didn't really do anything anyways, because you guys, I know a lot of you guys don't like the netcode and stuff for Street Fighter V right now, but we could also imagine what it would be like if they never had a beta test in the first place. It could have been worse, for example. Another thing, too, is that Street Fighter V, the whole fight money system, the way that's structured, we know that Marvel's Capcom Infinite is going to have a full DLC structure, right? Everything added to that will cost money, the DLC characters and such. But for them to balance that whole esports act with Street Fighter V, the characters coming into the game, since it does affect the game content-wise, these new characters, they are technically available for free for fight money, so it doesn't affect esports. Whereas for MVCI, if a new character comes to the game, it's almost like the pro players are obligated to have to buy this DLC because they have to obviously learn the character, learn the matchups and such. You're kind of forced to buy it. So it's a weird balancing act, but my point is that Street Fighter V is built more from esports from the get-go. Now let's take a look at MVCI. They have a demo right now, which we aren't able to play online, unfortunately. In fact, it's a story mode demo. That's the main focus, and it's a showcase more for casual players. And we have no idea what the netcode for this game is right now. We do know there'll be servers this time, so that's good. It won't be all peer-to-peer, but still, it's something that I am a little concerned about. The second is the reception of the game. If we compare the PR of MVCI to the PR of Street Fighter V, if you guys don't remember, Street Fighter V had a very strong reception leading all the way up to its release. There were plenty of events and showcases for the game, and it was definitely more positive than MVCI. Finally, I should point out that MVCI, even though it's down to a 2v2 format, there's auto combos in the game, and the removal of the tag system is still not ever going to be as accessible as Street Fighter V. There's just no way to do it for those type of crossover games because without damaging the game for what it's known for, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing, but if we're looking in the eyes of esports and trying to get as many players playing it competitively as possible, that is something to keep in mind. So the benefits that MVCI is going to have for esports is that Capcom will have a very strong resume with Street Fighter V. They've proven that it's possible. Street Fighter V is, a very successful esports game despite its initial sales. Like I said, televised and everything. So but there's also a ton of reasons why Street Fighter V is where it is today. If MVCI has poor sales, then I'll have to rely on the esports scene to bring it back to life, just like Street Fighter V. But I think the situation is definitely different. Best case scenario is this game releases and hits its sales mark, whatever that might be, supposedly 2 million copies as well, like Street Fighter V. The Marvel side of that will definitely have a strong impact on a lot more casual players buying the game just because they like their Marvel characters. The day one patch, hopefully that fixes most of the current complaints going on right now, and the balance in the game has to be deep enough and have a strong tournament scene in general. We know that the game will be deep, but we have to see what the pros come up with, because we're going to be using whatever it takes to win. We don't want everyone to be using the same team. We don't want everyone to be using the same gems or stones. Sorry, not gems. My bad. Etc. etc. So let me know you guys' thoughts on this. Do you think MVCI will succeed as a strong esports title? Is it possible? I basically think that, I picture MVCI right now, the way this game is gonna launch is just, it's really fascinating to me, honestly. Just seeing how this game has gone from when it was first revealed, the hype, till now. It's really funny. I think Capcom is gonna treat this game kind of like a bomb defusal, where they're gonna cut the blue wire and then cut the red wire, and it's either going to defuse the bomb or it's just gonna blow up in everybody's face. So I can't wait to see. We're pretty much a month away from this game's release. So once again, let me know your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to like the video and be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep you guys posted on more fighting game news in the future. So take care, everyone. Peace out.